Back to my morning report chart analysis videos on Wednesday 12th of October with me, Richard Pro Market Analyst at Antec Markets. Going to be looking at the FX Trade of the Year Lucky 8 instruments now. For week 2 you've got sterling dollar, Kiwi dollar, euro sterling, euro Aussie, dollar rand, FTSE 100, WTI oil and cocoa. So getting into it, let's look first of all at this rally that we've got on sterling. Interesting, I've actually added onto this chart a Fibonacci projection of that big original breakdown. Rallied up to the 34.80 level, then predicted lower. The 100% level of that, just as an aside, 12.60. Now rallied basically from that 61.8% fib level yesterday. So 50% is 23.70. So keep an eye on that. I would. The resistance basically comes in 23.30. I've got to do this because of the intraday low point of 14.50, but there is a resistance now 23.30. That was sort of resistance of yesterday. Came in a couple of times actually. It's 23.30 area as resistance and then fell away. Again today that's basically come in as the resistance for this little rally, 23.25, and fallen away. So that is a level near term I think the market may be looking out for. So watch out for that. Beyond that you've got 23.75, 24 big figure, 24.80 after that, 24.70, 24.80. So a few levels to use to work with, but I think this is a rally that's going to be sold into. I'll be surprised if this rally gets too much traction, because I think there's so much negativity surrounding sterling that I think it would be a surprise if the bulls do sort of continue to rally this one. I think the key resistance to look out for on sterling comes in at 24.80 though, which at that initial rally high on Friday. Right, let's have a look at Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar, here we go. A little bit of a rally as well on Kiwi dollar, but again I think this is going to be a rally that gets sold into. The resistance overnight 70.95, sort of coming in around that 71 big figure area. Sort of look on the daily chart, you can see how this is just I think a bear rally within this phase. Very much selling pressure on the downside. Sort of continued downside momentum indicators, and I think it all looks pretty negative. A little rally, I think, not necessarily to be unexpected, but that is resistance around that 71 big figure area. And I think that we're going to see this rally petering out. I think that there is further downside potential in this move back towards that July low. Euro sterling. Euro sterling, again a little bit of a corrective move, a bit more than on cable, because of the fact that the euro has been weaker as well. So this is sort of not only sterling recovering but euro remaining weak, and that's pulled the pair lower, back towards initial support, interestingly enough, again at 89 sort of 60 area, which was a bit of a support around on that flash crash day. But if that support breaks, then I think you're looking out for sort of 89 big figure, I think, to come in as your main support line. That would be your major support, because that was the post spike low on euro sterling. Now you've had these indicators unwinding on the hourly chart, and it'll be interesting to see now if the sterling can sort of continue this little rally that it's had. You've got the little hourly chart, which has had a bit of a 1 hour key reversal, and it could well put pressure back on that 89.60 level, but if you break that, I think you could be pulling back towards 89 figure. So I think that's one to maybe watch, because for now this sort of strength of sterling is being contained, but that is an interesting level, 89.60 on euro sterling. Euro Aussie, has sort of broken down, and it looks to be testing the lows of this range again. And the lows of the range sort of be coming back. This continued sort of corrective move, actually 45.30 area, which being the October low. You've had a couple of pretty negative, or three negative candles now building in a row. That yesterday's move was disappointing for the bulls, sort of leaving a sort of lower high and accelerating lower. Breaking below that that old support, which now becomes new resistance around that sort of 46.25 area. But it certainly looks as though Euro Aussie is going to be testing this low of 45.30, and it's not a million miles away from that. If it breaks that, then you're looking back at the 44.15 area, but for now certainly the market is turning over, becoming increasingly corrective, stochastics falling away on the daily. That does not look good. The Rand. Massive breakout yesterday, and it's holding that breakout, so that reopens these highs, 14.59 and maybe even 14.74, 14.75. So this breakout now becomes the basis of support, so that old high of 14.06 becomes the basis of support. It doesn't look as though it's going to be retreating back towards there though. Looks pretty strong, this move, and I'd be looking to use little dips as a buying opportunity now. You've already had 14.27, that's held as support. You've got 14.14 as a reaction low, following on from the initial breakout, so that's a few supports to really work with. 14.26, 14.14, and then that old breakout high of 14.06. But I think little rallies, little corrections are a chance to buy, little unwinding moves. I think it looks like it's the bulls are in control of this one now. FTSE 100, this is an interesting one because it has been so strong. It failed yesterday, a little intraday rally to an all-time high of 71.30, failed breakout, and it's now dropping back, and it's now sort of looking out for the 70.24 support and 7,000 big figure level that has been a higher low on the chart. You're sort of dropping back now, but you can see here a succession of higher lows. That's 69. Don't know what 69.80 is. I'm going to get rid of that. But 69.55 is this breakout here, and that is your key support, I think, to watch out for. But certainly at the moment, it's holding on to the breakout above 7,000, holding on to the support around 7,025. And it'll be interesting to see if this one moves below that support or the supports. The market is sort of, or the RSI has dropped back towards 40. That's been a level which has been holding in recent days. So dropping below 40 would not be positive. It's rebounded intraday above that 70.25 level. So that is a level that the market is looking out for. So this is becoming an interesting correction. The bulls need to hold on to this move. Otherwise 7,000 could come under pressure, but 6,955 is the key level on FTSE. WTI oil, again a bit of a corrective move, but you're holding on to the correction, and the support's holding around that 50.40 level. That old breakout of 50 big figure level means that it's a nice band of support really between 50 big figure up towards sort of 50.75 really, but 50.40 held over yesterday's session, and just drifting higher again. It's sort of unwinding move really on these momentum indicators on the hourly, sort of helping to renew a bit of upside potential, but certainly the chart looks still pretty strong really, following on from the strong move to to test that key June high 51.67. that remains the big resistance. Tested on a couple of times but just failed, rolled over, but nothing really excessively corrective about these momentum indicators on the daily chart. It looks pretty strong still. And finally cocoa, CCC1. It looks pretty strong to the downside in terms of the momentum. It looks as though the bears really are in control of this one. That big strong bear candle, what a move that was yesterday. That really did significantly change the outlook yesterday, and we're not really showing too much sign of a recovery. I think rallies are a chance to sell. You've seen a little bit of a near-term rally. You've got the resistance now, 27.08. Is a sort of your sort of initial ballpark I'd say you'd be looking out for. I think anything that unwinds this RSI would be a chance to sell, but the momentum indicators don't look as though there's a great deal of potential for a rally. Let's look on the hourly chart where you can see a little bit of resistance that comes in Or not. Okay, fine. Yeah, so the resistance is already sort of starting to sort of build up, I think, but 27.08 seems to be a key level. Bit of a minor level there, 27.38, but the main resistance starts coming at 27.60, and obviously the key rally high of 28 area, 28.04. So rallies are a chance to sell on cocoa. So I wish you good luck in your trading across the Lucky 8, and I'll speak to you again later. Thank you.